Welcome to the Hoopsville Coaches Corner presented by Buffalo Wild Wings here at the third annual Hoopsville National Invitational Classic hosted by, Stevenson University. Dave McHugh joined by Tim McDonald, first-year head coach of the Cabrini Cavaliers, ranked number 20 in the preseason D3Hoops.com top 25. And Coach, first and foremost, talking to you right after a probably easier than expected victory over Purchase, but at least you got the victory. Your thoughts?
Very true. I thought we got there a little bit easier than I thought it would. Part of it, they have a lot of injuries. I was talking to their coach. He had 7 guys that he thought was going to have are out with injury right now, including their big guy out with the ACL injury, which is
huge.
Hard to hear. I don't like hearing anyone being injured, but thought our guys did a great job getting after it defensively. We had the lockdown after the last weekend. We got beat by Worcester a little bit. I thought we had the rebound, which we did nicely on Monday versus Eastern. And then going into the weekend, we talked about defending for 40 minutes all day today. I think we did that for the first time this season, definitely. Got after it defensively, forced them to take bad shots, and we were able to secure a lot of the rebounds, which is good for us. So.
I've been somewhat joking with people. This is the year of questions in Division III men's basketball. There are a ton of questions out there, and you guys are certainly one of those. Aaron Walton Moss comes back, but you lose a core group that was around him.
Yes.
Marcus Kahn leaves for another job. While you certainly were part of the program, now you step in. And then you get a game against Purchase that doesn't answer any questions necessarily because it wasn't the game everybody expected. What are you guys thinking in your camp? What is the mentality of this squad?
Sure. For us right now, we just have to worry about getting better day in and day out. And part of that is our youth. Obviously, having Aaron, he covers up a lot of the inexperience for them. He does a lot on the floor. He can direct people where to go. He rebounds the ball very well. Offensively, he is a tough matchup for basically anyone.
Everybody.
I mean, he can go into the post if you put a smaller guy on him. If you put a bigger guy on him, he can go right by him, and he handles the ball. He's basically a point guard playing the power forward for us this year. So he does hide a lot of the inexperience for our guys, which is good. And then our other guys, the young guys, they just have to become sophomores very quickly.
And they will.
They will. They'll be sophomores next year, but they're going to be very mature freshmen especially after our first 9 games, first semester. So.
Well, and then I ran into Aaron before the game, was talking to him in the hallway, and he made the comment that I thought was very astute. He's sitting there going, we need to groom these guys. We have a lot of youth on the squad. My job is to help these guys out. It's almost like another coach for you in some senses. And then I heard a great moment on the court. He's joking around with the team, talking about who's got what, and you could just see a lot of leadership from him. But what other intangibles does he bring that maybe not everybody's appreciating?
Sure. I think first and foremost his ability in practice to kind of put guys in their place, make sure that they know what to expect going into games. He's been through the gamut really the last 3 years, playing in the NCAA tournament every year against great competition. And some of the younger guys on our team haven't been there. Even some of the older guys haven't been through that. So he's able to let them know what to expect going into Worcester last week, and let them expect what the crowd was going to be like, what they're going to be bigger than us.
Yeah.
And basically just getting them ready mentally for the game, and I think that has really helped. And then on the floor, he talks with the best of them, and he knows that.
Yeah,
he knows that for sure. But today he was very good, making sure the guys were doing the right thing, making sure we had our matchups correctly, and then just basically tells people where to go. He's a floor general out there, even when he's not playing the point guard spot. So that's his intangibles are very, very good, and they help. As a coach, he is another coach on the floor, like you said. So.
The change of Marcus Kahn leaving, I mean, he was, pretty much the guy who brought Cabrini basketball back from it. It was in its heyday, the cream of the Mid-Atlantic, and it went through a tough spot there for a while. He helped resurrect the program and bring it back to where it was. How tough was it to see him then leave?
Sure.
And leave questions for you guys?
Yeah, I mean, him leaving was a surprise to everyone. I'm sure it was a little bit of a surprise to him as well. But he made the decision to move forward, obviously, which shocked pretty much everyone there. But having a good core group of guys that were able to come back definitely helped me in the process, bringing in some of the younger recruits. We have 7 freshmen on the roster right now. And I think only 2 of them were committed to us at that time. So we had to kind of scramble around to get a couple guys, as we lost a couple other guys. 2 of the guys followed Marcus down to Mary Washington. Brendan McCann, who started every game for us last year except for senior day, enlisted in the Army. So he left for us.
Oh, by the way.
Yeah, and then Brad Fagan, who played a lot for us last year, decided not to, about 2 weeks before the season, decided to move forward without basketball right now to concentrate on academics. So that kind of made us a lot younger than we thought we were going to be going into the season. But the young guys that we have are very talented, and they're just going through the gamut right now, learning how to play, and they'll continue to do so.
How about yourself, first-year head coach? I know you were excited to get that opportunity, and it's early in the season, but has it lived up to the expectations?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, obviously, I've been waiting for this a long time, hoping to get it. Once I got it, I realized I have in a great spot. Cabrini is a great school. I have a great support staff with our athletic director, the other coaches, the assistant athletic directors. Everyone in the department is great. Obviously, the campus is beautiful there. So I do have all the support that I could ever ask for at the school. And then just bringing the guys in, kind of getting them to work and buy into what we're doing. Most of it offensively is very similar that we've done in the past. Defensively, things have changed a little bit. And having Aaron, Vinny, Howard, those guys that are buying in to that every day in practice really help with the freshmen, getting them to come in and buy into what we're doing and getting after it every day. They need to realize that every practice is just as important as the games. And we've been able to do that with them, so I think that's definitely going to help in the long run for them.
How much did the off-season shakeup almost have you guys move on quickly from the tough loss to Richard Stockton at home in the second round? I mean, that's a kind of loss that can really stick with a team and have negative or positive connotations, but you then had so much shakeup. How much did that almost make you have to move on and forget about it?
Yeah, I mean, we definitely didn't forget about it as quick as I wish I could have.
Still thinking about it.
Yeah, it's still kind of resurrected, but it also motivated Aaron, Vinny, those guys realized that if we're going to win games, we can't just rely on offense, and we had to buy in defensively, and that really, and we've talked about that game multiple times this year where they just got down and out-toughed us, out-rebounded us, and really out-defended us, and we weren't making shots that game, and we weren't able to get stops when we needed them. So that has been one of the big focal points for us. Aaron knows this is his last go at it in college, and he wants to live up to it the best that he can. So him buying in on the defensive end, I think he's taken 5 or 6 charges already in 3 games, and that's when we have him. He was the player of the year by the NABC last year. Him stepping up, taking charges, really the freshmen are like, all right, I got to get involved. I got to get on the floor when there's a loose ball. So that kind of stuff has really helped our team. And again, that goes back to the Stockton loss last year. But the shuffle did help us forget about it for a little while anyway. Obviously, having to get the guys in that we needed, I wasn't able to focus just my thoughts on that.
Sure. Well, let's talk about the CSAC real quick. Gwen and Mercy here at the Hoopsville National Invitational Classic as well. This is a conference that has a lot of questions about it. You talk to Coach Barron, he's like, it's better than people think. The bottom is getting better, which has always been the problem. What's your take on this conference?
Sure, I agree with John. Obviously, the conference, the past couple years, the bottom half of our conference hasn't been as good. If you look at our conference, John's the senior coach in the league. I think this is his 15th year.
Something,
and then the next highest is 3 years, which is Bobby Hughes at Rosemont and Terrence Stewart over at
Bobby will like to hear that, by the way.
Yes, he will. But those guys are 3 years in, and they're second and third most tenured coaches. So we do have a good core group of young coaches in our conference, and I think every team is getting better and better every day. So our conference is definitely better. It's getting better anyway. We have the young coaches bringing in their players. I know Marywood's much improved this year, just haven't seen them play the other day. Coach Simmons is doing a great job with them. And Centenary's going to be improved. They have some good young players. So I think the depth in our conference is definitely getting better. We've been pretty top-heavy between us, Keystone, Gwinnett, Newman, and now the other guys. Rosemont's definitely much better. Immaculata's better. Marywood's up there now. So I think those guys are doing a great job where they are and continue to grow our conference. So.
And then the conference shifts to the Atlantic region along with the MAC Freedom. You now join the Skyline, CUNYAC, and NJAC.
Yes.
How much impact will that have, do you think? I mean, Cabrini was at the top of the Mid-Atlantic region last year, but the rest of the conference couldn't really be part of the conversation. Does it change, you think, the approach for the conference? Does it change at least the hopes of the conference for NCAA hope?
Yeah, I mean, just from talking to John, I think both of us have kind of agreed that our conference needs to step up and play better out-of-conference games. I think most of the coaches in our conference agree with that, and that'll help going a long way if we can be successful with our out-of-conference schedule. But I think the shift with the regions, not sure how it's going to play out yet. Obviously, every year teams are different, but being in there with the NJAC schools and the the SUNY schools. It'll definitely still be a challenge with that. And again, we'll have to see how it shakes out with those teams. But just our scheduling has to be better as a conference. I think this year our schedule, this is probably the toughest it's been for us, and I think we need to continue to go that way just to help our conference strength of schedule and continue to build our program. So,
Makes sense. Tim McDonald from Cabrini, the number 20 ranked team in the preseason D3Hoops.com preseason poll. As always, you might not know this, we always give the coach the final word.
I'm aware.
Okay, good. Any final thoughts you want to share with those watching?
Anyone watching coaches-wise, I just want to wish everyone best of luck this year. Obviously, the season's very early on. Hopefully, we'll get to answer a lot of the questions for you as we move forward. But best of luck to everyone out there. Hope everyone has a successful season and stays healthy.
Very good. Again, Tim McDonald from Cabrini. They will take on, I forgot who you're taking on
WPI
next.
tomorrow.
Thank you, WPI tomorrow. That's who they're playing
Yep.
here at the Hoopsville National Invitational Classic. For the coach, this has been Hoopsville's Coach's Corner, presented by Buffalo Wild Wings.